Okay, so Rodin generating characters. So I received multiple comments regarding this, as you can see over here. So we have one comment from the Steam machine over here asking for an example with Rodin to generate multiple characters. So he also wants over here one anime style and also over here just for the head of a character using 3D and also 2D blueprints. This is a comment that I also received from a different user. So let's take a look at this. I already prepared multiple images over here for Rodin, and I have set them like this. So we have the anime character over here, we have the front view, the back view, and the right view in this case. As you can see, those images will be quite low. Afterwards, we're gonna go further to 3D characters, and I added this 40K orc, which I made another video regarding this. Afterwards, we're gonna go forward, and I did some 3D renderings using the Chinese warrior over here, and this will be high resolution, as you can see over here. And I also added those within Rodin. We see over here the size of each will be almost 17 megabytes. And then we're gonna go within other characters. We have the following Lord General over here, and then I went for some realistic characters like this. Okay, so let's get started with the anime character. I already prepared and uploaded all the images over here, as you can see, but I didn't do any settings over here. So this is the default window that will appear, and just with the default 3 images over here, we're gonna see that this will be the output. Keep in mind that within preview, I cannot check the wireframe since I didn't specify if I want this to be quad or triangles. But for characters, we will want to have this made by quads, so we can further go ahead and work with it a lot more easy. I will also go over here, and this will be the back view. I will also set them, even though without having those set, Rodin managed to align those. Perfect. So this will be the right view. So in this case, this will be the right view. I also like the user interface over here on Rodin. It's a lot better than on other tools. It has many settings, as we can see over here, and this will be the front view. So this will be down, and I should also have front over here. So this was the back view. Only 3 images were used over here. And now I'm going to click on redo after I have those set. And let's see how that character will be generated. I also don't want to speed up the video because one of the main strengths of Rodin is the fact that it will process really fast. As we can see, it already started to generate this. I'm going to go ahead meanwhile, and we're going to check the following character over here. Let me just open this so we can better visualize it. So I don't actually have it moved over here within this folder, but this is a character that is holding a sword over here, as you can see, and this will be the output. Currently, I'm on a business account, and that means I can generate this up to 50 times. And again, what is really nice about Rodin is that you don't spend any credits only after you are satisfied with the results. So you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna do multiple reprocessing, and when you are okay with the output, you're gonna pay that create amount. Keep in mind that you can also go for this creator over here, creator account, and you can get a free trial. Even if you're just gonna sign up for 1 month, you can redeem over here a code. You can type over here 3D comparison. So I also prepared for this over here. So as you can see, the first 50 users who will sign up using this will get access to the 7-day free trial also. And you can do, I think, up to 20 retries for each mesh using that. So we already have this reprocessed. Again, maybe the sword is not that well within the hand of the character, but I'm happy with this. So I'm gonna go and we'll confirm this. We're gonna say that this will cost 0.5 credits. So this is the only time where you are spending that credit. We have this character also ready, and I'm gonna confirm this as well. Is it generated? symmetrically. So yeah, let's leave it like this with full symmetry. In most cases for characters we have full symmetry, but maybe for some characters with a different hairstyle over here, maybe that symmetry shouldn't be, let's say, perfectly in this case. But I'm gonna go ahead and process this. While this will be processed, I'm gonna go forward. So this is the different image. And again, I decided to upload all the image and discuss them afterwards. We're gonna see that from this perspective, the model will look good. But if I'm gonna turn around, we're gonna see that this leg position will look a little bit odd. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hit redo in this case. You can also go ahead and tweak additional elements over here. Within the filters, I left this as default. Let's just check that input image. So we see over here those legs. So I'm not sure exactly the position, why it didn't manage to output that. But after this generation, I'm pretty sure that it will manage to output that. So we have over here the wireframe ready. I can go ahead and I can enable it. And as you can see, the wireframe will be really nice for this model, defined by quads, even over here onto the hair, because that's the most critical and important part over here. I can go ahead and I can generate, in this case, the texture. I'm going to go for the default. We see over here that both for the geometry, we're going to have that text input. So Rodin initially analyzes the image and we'll add this description. And that will be used over here as well within the texture. We still see those three reference images over here. We can go ahead and we can add additional one if we want to. I didn't try to maybe supplement those initial, but I think you can easily do that. Let's also generate this. I have a check over here for face restore. So I will leave that check because usually Rodin, if you're not gonna check that, it will have some problem with some character faces. This is also why they decided to implement that feature. In my opinion, it's a really good addition. So we're gonna have this texture being generated over here. You can also redo the texture up to, I think it's 8 times with the creator and 15 times with the business account. But again, this will be the output. It's really good. I can also share this. You're going to have that QR code. Not sure exactly why over here is stated Gen 1, because this will actually be second generation. And they also have this nice animation over here added for each model with that blue wireframe transition. Okay, so this model outputted really good. This will look with PBR material, so in this case with shaded, it will look like this. Maybe over here that it's floating, so that's one problem, but that can easily be fixed in post-production. Now let's go ahead for this character. We're gonna see the face. Again, we're gonna have the wireframe, PBR material will look like this. So with the PBR, we're gonna see a lot more light added to the scene, and overall we see the proportions of the character for the body is well defined, but it still struggles over here with that face. Let's go ahead and see if this has been reprocessed. So it should now updated. I saw that. So we already have that update, but we see that maybe this leg is not the same proportion as the other. So in this case, maybe I'm gonna be required to do additional processing of this. Let's go ahead for the following one, which will be this or character. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the result over here, the default, because we have the good posture, we have the details for the weapon, for the power claw, and for the other tools over here. Again, I'm curious if regarding the face, it will manage to output some good results, but we're gonna see by the end of this video that Rodin can output some really good character faces over here. This is the one using HD images, and as you can see, it managed to recreate that weapon really good. Again, the character is lacking some details, but keep in mind that This was a 3D scan made with Artec. This is available within multiple of my videos. So this is the render that I created. So there weren't many details over here. So considering that it was like this, we see many patterns. Since this was 3D scan with an Artec laser scanner, maybe the resolution is not the best. I can make this using just a simple color material, and I think that the output will be better. But I can go ahead and tweak that material around. Okay, so we have that. Let me just open because that character, I clicked towards the exterior, so you also saw over here a preview of the other characters. And we have over here the faces. Those have not been defined. Let's see. I will also align it, so this will be the front, this will be the one from the back, this will be the right side. So I'm going to go ahead and say that that will be the right, this will be the left. And this is just a perspective, but this is really nice that they added within Rodin. So you can add a perspective like this, front left. So it's one of the few generative AI tools that has this feature. And usually it's a really good idea to add those perspective images, not only side views. While this is being reprocessed, let's see over here. Let's go ahead and check the close-up for the characters. So over here we're going to have some more photorealistic characters, and we see that the result in this case will be really good. So this will be the mesh. We have over here that beard is not really added, but it was quite short, as we can see it over here. Maybe over here it was a little bit longer than within that preview. So let me go back and open that. So that character was this one. I'm gonna hit also redo and see if I'm gonna get some more geometry over there. We have this character ready. I'm gonna generate the texture. For this one, it didn't had that face reconstruction, so I'm not sure exactly why in some cases it will appear and within others it won't. So I'm gonna apply that one. We have two characters already generated. In my opinion, the first one with the 2D images for the anime character is one of the best over here compared to this one, which was a single image. This started to look a little bit better. Maybe this leg is a little bit weird. So we see over here it has that weird heel over here, but it can be changed within Blender and reposed. This will be the texture. So again, for the face, it's not that well defined in this case. Not sure exactly why. Maybe it had few informations over here within a single perspective view. I think that's one of the problems. With PBR, it will look like this. So it will also be hollow over here where he has that jaw mask. So maybe it's a little bit trickier character since he has that. So let's just generate that. We have this now being reprocessed, and just by aligning those views, we see that now we have details on the character face. We have over here that leg position is a little bit weird, but now you see over here the weapon. Once I align the views over here, it will be a lot better, a lot more straight. Initially it was a little bit curved, so I'm really impressed with this result over here. But keep in mind that also it had good images with high resolution in this case. So I'm gonna go ahead and generate that. Let's see over here for this bald person. I'm gonna confirm this. I want to see the material. And we get over here into more advanced characters. And this is something that is the other generative AI tools struggle a lot with hair over here. So if you animated characters or model them, you know that the hair system is one of the most complicated. It's usually done separately with various systems, either directly within Blender or within Rodin Gen or other tools, because usually it's not a good idea to have them just defined by meshes like this. But in this case, I'm gonna go and confirm this mesh. Over here, we're gonna see that again the hair particle will look like that. This was also quite tricky, as you can see it over here, since it had those really thin hair elements. But I'm gonna go ahead and have this also redo. The same problem over here with the hair, but overall the proportion of the character for the face, I think those are quite well defined, so I'm gonna go and confirm this. And yeah, those were the case studies. So again, I will wait for those to be reprocessed because I also want to check the texture. I feel like Rodin managed to fix geometry pretty good over here, especially the quad geometry. Maybe the texture, they need to change it up a little bit. So that's one of the... Okay, we can also go with face restoration in this case. And also, it's really nice that they are processing so fast. So we see over here, this went into queuing. This one is already generating, but this is queued 21%. And it's really impressive that you can work directly on the platform in real time on so many elements. Other tools will put various limits, usually up to 10. Also within other tools, like for example within Hidden 3D, you don't really have access to this kind of hands-on configuration, which I think is really important because you can go ahead, you can fine-tune various elements, and you're gonna spend those credits only when you are satisfied with the results. Otherwise, you're just gonna do various prompts and inputs for the 3D models, and if you're not happy, you're not gonna confirm that. So this will be the character. I'm gonna go for the PBR in order to see it, and yeah, we see over here that the texture, this could be improved, but overall the geometry I think is really nice in this case. We see over here also the detail onto the element to the neck, the back of the character, so overall is quite good. So after you confirm this, you can also have this exported within 4K resolution. Not sure exactly over here within the preview what kind of resolution the material is added. If the one within 4K will be a lot better. But if you're gonna keep this shaded, I think that this is pretty decent. And this is why I chosen this character, because we see over here that he's bold, and it will be easier for the generative AI to define this character. Now let's go ahead and check this one. I'm gonna hit generate and also check that face restoration. Not sure over here if it will do some changes to the profile, the lips or the nose, but let's have that reprocessed. And we see for this character with those hair element, they're a little bit better defined now. So I'm going to confirm this as well. Is the generated object symmetrically? No, especially due to the hairstyle over here. We have this also being generated. This is almost finished, so this is the last one. We see over here the description, woman wearing winter coat outdoors. Person in fantasy armor with blonde hair. So I really like the fact that they have this nice text for each image that you're gonna add. Woman in yellow jacket with black hair in this case. So this is close to be finished. I'm really curious for the texture, especially for the... Yeah, and as you can see for the eyes, it has that problem. So we can go ahead and we can have that redo. But I also tried this same image into other tools, and the overall, let's say, the construction of the face was far worse than this, if you can imagine. You see over here that position for that ear. Maybe I should go ahead and have this reprocessed and maybe check some symmetry, because usually characters should have symmetry. And yeah, overall the perspective for this character is really tricky. We see this one is a lot better since it's, let's say, normal to the face over here. And this one as well is a lot better. So I can go ahead and I can generate this. I can generate over here the texture as well, because again, I'm curious regarding those textures. So the texture for this character are really good. We see over here, maybe within PBR, over there to the hair, there are some problems. Within shaded, they are not that visible. If you're gonna use this within maybe a VR application or something, you will most likely use PBR. Okay, so we also have the lore generator over here generated. We're gonna see that for characters that are created like this, we'll not always have access to that face restore feature as we saw over here. Maybe over here the gun should have been within a straight line, but again, I'm really curious about the texture now. So let's generate this as well. This one is finished. This one we see that it still struggles with the texture for the eye. Okay, so this is the model texture. We have some small problems over here, but those can easily be changed within Blender directly, within textures card. You can just use a brush and pick a color over here and work on that. So over here for the chin, again, there are some stitches that should be changed, but I'm really happy overall with this result, considering that this was a single image. This is the output. In my opinion, it's really good. And if you don't believe me, try to use a similar image within other tools, other generative AI tools, and you're gonna see that this is a lot better, both for the geometry and in this case even for the texture. Okay, so we have this one. So maybe over here for the eyes, it should be a little bit different. Shaded will look like this, and over here on the back, it didn't really texture this. So this is quite similar to early, let's say, 3D scans, where you would fill in those within the software and you wouldn't have texture. But overall, the results are decent in this case. Okay, let's see over here if that eye will be fixed. So again, we have that double iris over there. We have the texture done, so I want to check that PBR. We're going to say the PBR will look like this, so a lot of light will be added within this case. But overall, we see that the geometry is really well defined. Consider this is made with quad, so we can easily go ahead and work with this. Over here for the leg, you're going to see that this will be elongated over here as well, so that should require further adjustment. Yeah, so let's just see this last texture. And since it's set to PBR, it will not look that good. And as you can see, it has many areas onto the face of the character that will need to be repainted in this case. Okay, so this was an overview regarding Rodin. In my opinion, I consider that Rodin outputs some of the best meshes, considering the fact that you can have this defined by quads, because this is really important. Other tools, if you're gonna go for triangles, maybe they will have much more details, for example, Hidden 3D, but they are not that usable. Mainly if you want to make a 3D print or other manufacturing, let's say CNC machining and so on, you can work with those. But if you want to further take this into maybe a game engine, maybe within Unity or within Unreal Engine or within Godot, or you want to create something within Blender in 3D, you will need to have those models made by quads if you want to work with them. If you want to go ahead and rig the character and so on, and usually you want that. You don't want the character to only be static. Usually static meshes like this are intended for 3D printing mostly, or maybe as props within an environment, props that will not be interactable, so just like a filler within the environment. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this kind of content. Keep in mind that you can redeem a free trial of 7 days over here for the creator account. And I encourage you to do that and give this a go and see exactly how well this will process. So in order to do that, you're gonna need to make an account, and afterwards you can redeem the code over here. You're gonna find the code. So this will be 3D comparison. You're gonna type it here, you're gonna click redeem, and you're gonna have access to that 7-day free trial. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this kind of content, and I hope that this was useful, mainly to the people that asked me to make this video, but also for others that are interested in 3D generative AI for character creation. I'm going to position a similar video over here on the left side, and you're also going to find the subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.